Here's a guide to activity 3. Think of your life as a road, and on this road you are required to get to the end, which is the end of your educational journey, but along the way, what would you like to get? What would you like to take with you? We've decided to help guide you tell your story by thinking of it as this long road that you're on, along which you will have the opportunity to pick different flowers. The question is, what would you like your bouquet to look like? What flowers, what herbs, what plants would you like to collect along the way that represent different things that you value? So not just the skills that you get at university, but anything about being at university that you appreciate and you value. Imagine that your journey to university is a long road, and you getting to the end of that road is you graduating. However, right at the beginning, when you come to university, you might come with a bouquet of flowers. And in fact, I think we all do. These represent the different types of values, your knowledge, your skills, all the different things that make you who you are is this bouquet of flowers. However, when you get at the university, you might be told that there's certain values, certain attitudes, basically certain flowers that are not valued at university, and you have to let them go. This is when you decide what to do with those flowers. Do you chuck them away? Do you bury them? Do you keep them on a balcony and hope that they will dry and still be useful later on? Do you try and keep some of those seeds so that you can plant them later on? This is where you fill in the story for us. Tell us what happens to that bouquet of flowers, and then once you're in university and you're walking towards your journey at the end, let us know if you're able to plant and sow and pick and just get a hold of a whole bunch of other different flowers that you can have with you once you get to the end of the journey. There is no one way of telling us your story. What we would like to get a sense of is whether or not you actually have the opportunity to gather the kind of flowers that you find beautiful, that define who you are, that give you what you need in order to be prepared for the future. Or if you have difficulties and it's tough, or you don't know where to get the flowers, or you're getting lost, or you're not sure exactly where to go, it might also be that the conditions are rough for the kind of flowers that you would like to pick. So describe to us, what are the conditions like? Are the flowers that you have reason to value not allowed to grow? Are they difficult to get a hold of? Are they far from you? You should also be able to tell us which flowers you would like to pick, but you can't. Which flowers are difficult for you to get a hold of? Which flowers are prickly? Which plants are dangerous for you to pick? Which ones do you actually have permission to pick? So as you tell us the story about collecting this bouquet of flowers, also tell us which flowers have been very difficult for you to pick or have access to, as these are the examples of exclusion. There might be certain flowers that you need in order to get to the other side. These might represent whatever skills are necessary for you to pass and get your degree. On the other hand, you're not only limited to getting those flowers that are necessary for you to get to the other side. You might have many opportunities to go this way or that way and discover what other flowers you might want to take with you. I will now give you an example using my own experience of studying towards my PhD degree. When I started the PhD, I thought at the end I need to produce a flower. In fact, I think that is what is expected. You're told to produce a flower, which is your dissertation, at the end of 3 years. However, I not only had a beautiful flower, I also had other very colorful flowers that were included in my bouquet. It wasn't only producing that single flower as a dissertation that mattered. I learned to take a lot of other things along the way. I learned how to work in teams. I developed my self-esteem a lot. I realized that there was so much that I had to unlearn. I realized that my potential was kind of underestimated by myself in the beginning. I realized that there's so much that I could take from the PhD journey, not just in writing the dissertation, but in learning as well. I developed a lot of friendships. I developed a lot of opportunities for the future, and I started to think about how I really wanted my life to look like. So at the end, I had a very complicated, very colorful bouquet, not just of one type of flower, but a whole mix. The journey not only produced what was necessary for me to pass, which was the dissertation, but the bouquet was also beautiful and complicated because I learned to think differently. I learned to question my own assumptions. I learned how to collaborate and work with other people. I realized that I have potential to actually showcase some leadership. And so my bouquet is beautiful, but it's also complicated, and it's kind of messy because not only was the journey straightforward and simple, but it was also very difficult at times. So my hands also have some scars from the prickly thorns that were on some of the roses that I picked. But in the end, my bouquet was beautiful and complicated. This is an example of how you might reflect on your own story, thinking about your life being at university in your way to getting your undergraduate degree. So please describe to us in one page what your bouquet would look like. What kind of flowers would you like to pick? What would you like us to see at the end of your journey?